Alright, so this chapter starts off real chill, but you already know in cultivation stories when things feel too peaceful, that's a trap. Our boy Qin Chen walks into the restaurant and instantly gets treated like a VIP who just dropped 1,000,000 spirit stones on VIP membership. Shang Xinyu is out here yelling for snacks like he is ordering for a whole sect, not one guy. Plates keep coming, table full, food stacked like a buffet exploit glitch. Qin Chen looks at the table and basically goes, "Bro, you think I'm a pig or what?" But Shang Xinyu, smooth talk level maxed out. He immediately goes, nah, it's not just for you. It's for Xiao Fei too. She's still growing. She needs to eat more. And right there, Qin Chen's expression changes. Bro got caught in 4K. Everybody knows mentioning Xiao Fei is the cheat code to bypass Qin Chen's defenses. This man has main character energy, but also Big Brother mode always active. Qin Chen squints and goes, alright, stop the acting. Nobody wakes up this early and feeds me like this unless they want something. Shang Xinyu finally admits the real reason. His family is in trouble, big trouble, life on the line type trouble. His father has to answer 3 questions at the Sacred Pill Pavilion, and if he fails, their whole family is cooked. Not medium rare fully burnt ashes, game over. So he begs Qin Chen for help. And Qin Chen just sits there like him. You want me to answer the questions for your dad? That counts as 3 favors I owe you, right? Shang Xinyu hesitates for a second. You can literally hear the regret sound effect, but he still agrees. Bro knows losing favors hurts, but losing your whole clan hurts more. Deal locked. Then Qin Chen casually says he also needs to make antidote pills anyway, so they can go to the Sacred Pill Pavilion together later. Shang Xinyu instantly goes, yes, let's go right now. Dude is so nervous he wants to speedrun the quest. Qin Chen just coughs and looks at him like relax. We wait for Xiao Fei, and right there Qin Chen drops the coldest line in the chapter. He tells Shang Xinyu, I respect your talent in alchemy, but don't think I value you that much. If you play tricks on me again, I can make you a master or make you nothing. Bro, that line had villain aura and mentor aura at the same time. That's when Shang Xinyu immediately folds and says he's willing to be Qin Chen's pill boy forever. Not even disciple pill boy. That's when you know the pressure is real. After that they wait for Xiao Fei to wake up, and when she finally comes downstairs she eats the entire table of food by herself. No shame, no hesitation, just pure hunger demon mode. Even Shang Xinyu is staring like what kind of monster child is this? She pats her stomach and says she's only half full. At this point I'm convinced this kid has a hidden ancient beast bloodline or something, because ain't no way. Anyway, the 3 of them head to the Sacred Pill Pavilion, which is basically the biggest trading place in the whole empire. 7 floors, huge building, looks like the final boss dungeon of capitalism. Everyone goes there to buy pills, weapons, treasures, whatever you want. On the first floor, there's a bunch of stalls where cultivators sell random stuff they found in dangerous places. Some look like trash, but sometimes they're actually hidden treasures. It's basically gambling for rich kids with spiritual energy. And of course, you already know what happens next. Main character walks into a random stall. That's never normal. They stop in front of one booth, and the seller immediately starts hyping up a rusty old sword. Dude talking like it's some legendary artifact, saying it used to be a high-level spirit weapon but got worn down over time. The sword looks like it lost every fight it's ever been in. Rust everywhere. Blade looks like it survived 3 apocalypses. Qin Chen picks it up, looks at it, and asks the price. 10,000 silver. Shang Xinyu almost explodes. He's like, bro, are you scamming in broad daylight? You trying to rob people in the Sacred Pill Pavilion? You want to lose your stall license today? The seller starts defending himself saying, hey, this is a vision test, not a scam. If your eyes are good, you win. If not, that's on you. And right when the argument is about to start, Qin Chen says, I'll buy it. Everybody freezes. Even I froze. Bro just spent 10,000 silver on a rusty sword like he clicked the wrong button in a game shop. Qin Hai immediately goes, wait. That's a waste of money. That thing is trash. Shang Xinyu also confused, because this makes 0 sense. But Qin Chen just smiles, holding the sword like he knows something nobody else knows. And then he says the most main character line possible. Who told you this is a rusty sword? He says even if it looks like scrap, he can turn it into a high-grade spirit weapon. Now everybody is shocked, because a high-grade spirit weapon is worth insane money. We're talking rich clan level treasure. Right when people are still processing that, a loud laugh comes from behind them. You know that laugh. That arrogant young master laugh. The kind of laugh that means trouble just spawned behind the main character. And the chapter ends right there. Classic. Cliffhanger timing perfect. You already know next chapter somebody gonna talk trash, Qin Chen gonna stay calm, and then reality gonna hit somebody like a heavenly tribulation. If you made it this far without your brain overheating from all this main character energy, hit that like button before some yo master shows up and challenges you to a duel for no reason. Alright, the moment that arrogant laugh appeared at the end of last chapter, you already knew somebody with rich young master energy just entered the scene. And yep, here they come. 3 dudes walk in like they own the place, and Shang Xinyu's face instantly changes. Bro looks like he just saw 3 overdue bills at the same time. Turns out these guys are regulars at the Sacred Pill Pavilion, and the one talking the loudest is Wang Zhenyu. This guy got that classic cultivation world confidence. The kind where he hasn't even done anything yet, but already acting like the final boss. He looks at the rusty sword in Qin Chen's hand and starts laughing like he just saw the dumbest purchase in history. Says he watches the stalls here every day, got experience, got knowledge, got the so-called golden eye skill. According to him, anything that looks this trash on the outside cannot possibly hide a treasure inside. Basically, bro said, if that sword is valuable, then he'll eat the auction table. Qin Chen doesn't even react, just standing there smiling like he already knows the script. Wang Zhenyu keeps talking, calling him a country bumpkin, saying he must be from some small town, doesn't understand how the treasure stalls work. You can already feel the disrespect stacking up like combo points. And right at that moment, Zio Fei speaks. She looks at them and says she doesn't like these guys. That's the trigger. Everybody who read enough cultivation novels knows when the cute little sister says she doesn't like someone, those people are about to get spiritually deleted. Qin Chen smiles and goes, alright, if Zio Fei doesn't like them, then Big Brother will slap their faces for you. Bro said it so casually too, like he's not about to start a million gold bet. He's just talking about buying snacks. Wang Zhenyu immediately gets annoyed and challenges him, asking if he dares to gamble. Qin Chen said, sure. Then he drops the bomb. He says the rusty sword is actually a high-grade spirit weapon. If he's wrong, he'll pay the price of one high-grade spirit weapon 1 million gold. 1 million, not silver. No, the whole place goes silent for a second because that number is not joke money. That's clan-level wealth. That's the kind of money that makes elders wake up from closed-door cultivation. But Qin Chen doesn't stop there. He says if he's right, Wang Zhenyu has to pay the same amount. Wang Zhenyu almost laughs himself to death. In his mind, this is free money delivery. He immediately agrees and even calls his friends to witness it, making sure nobody can back out later. Meanwhile, Shang Xinyu standing on the side looking like he wants to uninstall life. He knows every time Qin Chen gets serious, somebody is about to suffer, and this time it might be Wang Zhenyu. They decide to write a guarantee contract, because when 1 million gold is involved, nobody trusts anybody. Wang Zhenyu even questions whether Qin Chen can afford it, and Qin Chen just points behind him. Guess who just walked in? Yiziking. Perfect timing, like she spawned exactly when the plot needed a witness. Everyone shocked because she agrees to guarantee for Qin Chen without even asking what happened. She just nods like yeah, if he said it, it's fine. Now Wang Zhenyu even more confused. He thinking, since when these two know each other and why she trusts him this much. Contract signed. That locked. No escape. At this point you think Qin Chen will just reveal the sword's secret, right? Nah, that would be too normal. This man says let's go to the auction hall. Everybody like what? He asks Shang Xinyu to arrange an extra auction session. And because Shang Xinyu is basically VIP admin here, he makes it happen. Next thing you know, they're inside a huge auction hall full of people. Hundreds of cultivators sitting there waiting to buy treasures, pills, weapons, all that good stuff. Auctioneer is in the middle of selling something when suddenly he gets a message, his face changes, and he announces there will be an extra item. And then Qin Chen walks on stage holding the rusty sword. Bro really turned a street stall purchase into a live event. Everyone in the hall confused already. Qin Chen puts the sword on the table and calmly says this is a high-grade spirit weapon, and he wants to auction it. The entire crowd explodes. People yelling, people laughing, people thinking the Sacred Pill Pavilion got hacked. They saying this kid crazy. This sword looks like it lost to rust, not to enemies. Some people even telling him to go back to the first floor if he wants to sell garbage. Meanwhile, Wang Zhenyu in the audience laughing so hard he probably thinking about what color mansion he gonna buy with that 1 million gold. Even Shang Xinyu doesn't understand what Qin Chen doing anymore. But Qin Chen still calm. Then he says the starting price is 1 million gold. And if the sword is not a high-grade spirit weapon, he will pay 10 times the auction price. 10 times. At that moment, the whole auction hall goes dead silent. Because now this isn't just gambling. This is either the biggest scam ever or the biggest face slap in the entire city. And knowing Qin Chen, you already know somebody about to get hit so hard their ancestors feel it. If you still watching right now, You got real main character patience, so hit that like button before the auction hammer drops and somebody loses $1,000,000 gold in one swing. Alright, the auction hall is already in chaos from last chapter, and now the gamble officially begins. Qin Chen just threw a rusty sword on the auction table, said it's a high-grade spirit weapon, and promised to pay 10 times the price if he's wrong. That's not confidence, that's main character insurance policy. And the moment people realize he's basically covering all the risk himself, the entire crowd switches mode instantly. Nobody cares if the sword looks like it came out of a trash pile anymore. If it's fake, Qin Chen pays. If it's real, they profit. This is the safest gamble in cultivation history. One big guy stands up first and shouts 1,000,000 gold. Bro didn't even hesitate. That's how you know rich people in this world treat gold like pocket change. Another guy immediately raises the price. Then another old man jumps in, then another one. The whole hall turns into a stock market crash in reverse. Everybody buying, nobody scared, because in their minds, worst case scenario, they get refunded. Best case scenario, they get high-grade spirit weapon for cheap. Even Wang Zhenyu starts getting confused. He thought Qin Chen was bluffing, but now hundreds of people willing to spend crazy money. Ro's confidence bar slowly going down. Then the price jumps to 1.5 million. At this point the hall finally gets quiet, because that price already matches the value of a real high-grade spirit weapon. If it goes higher, it's actually risky. Auctioneer about to slam the hammer and suddenly a cold voice comes from a private room. 2 million. The entire hall freezes. 2 million gold for a sword that still looks like it lost a fight with rust. Even the auctioneer stunned. That price is way above normal value. Whoever is in that private room clearly knows something or is crazy. Hammer drops. Sold to room number 6. Wang Zhenyu can't hold it anymore. He jumps onto the stage like he just lost his last brain cell and yells at Qin Chen to stop pretending and reveal the truth. He still believes the sword is fake. In his mind, Qin Chen just scammed someone and now trying to run. Qin Chen smiles. That smile again. The smile that means somebody about to get their worldview deleted. He steps forward and raises his hand, and suddenly a spirit seal appears in the air. Everyone freezes. Spirit seal means one thing: Array Master. In this empire, Array Masters are rarer than alchemists and weaponsmiths. Even the royal family treats them like VIP DLC characters. And this kid just casually making spirit seals like he's drawing doodles. One seal turns into a spirit form and flies into the rusty sword. Then more seals appear. 10, 20, 50, 81. When the number reaches 81, the entire hall goes silent, because that amount already proves Qin Chen is far above a beginner array master. In this empire, most people never even see someone like this in their lifetime. Even the guy inside the private room starts paying attention. Inside that room is a young man wearing silver robes with a dragon pattern. Calm face, royal aura, clearly not normal background. Next to him stands a black armored guard who looks like he could solo half the hall. The guard says he is sure the sword is sealed by an array, and he once saw a similar weapon before. The young man smiles and says this Qin Chen is interesting. Young, powerful, sharp eyes. Definitely someone worth meeting. Back on stage, the seals keep surrounding the sword. Then the rust starts breaking apart piece by piece. Light flashes. Everyone holds their breath. But instead of a sword, a wooden box appears. The whole hall goes silent for 1 second. Then Wang Zhenyu starts laughing like he just won the lottery. He thought Qin Chen was about to show something legendary, but all that build up just to reveal a box. Bro laughing so hard he almost forget the bet. He says this must be the spirit weapon Qin Chen talked about. Qin Chen looks at him like he's watching a comedy show. Then he claps once. The box cracks open instantly and explodes into pieces. Blue light spreads everywhere, like metal dust floating in the air. Then the pieces gather together in front of everyone. And slowly a sword forms. Long blade, more than 3 feet. Glowing blue like moonlight, smooth, elegant, completely different from the rusty junk from before. The moment the sword appears, the young man in room number 6 jumps to his feet so fast he drops his tea. He stares at the blade like he just saw a lost treasure from legend. And he says the name, King Yu Sword. The guard next to him immediately kneels, shaking with excitement. He says the sword is one half of a pair once used by the ancient emperor. The other sword is kept inside the royal palace, and the emperor has been searching for the second one for years. And now it just got pulled out of a rusty street stall by a teenager. At this point, Wang Zhenyu not even pale anymore. Ro probably seeing his ancestors waving at him. Because the bet's still active. 1 million gold. And the face slap not finished yet. Not even close. Is your heart still stable after that reveal? You got stronger mental defense than most cultivators, so hit that like button before Qin Chen starts slapping people with legendary weapons next chapter. Alright, the moment the blue sword appeared last chapter, the whole auction hall already lost its mind. But now the real shock starts. Because that sword is not just some random spirit weapon, that thing has a name. King Yu Sword. And the second that name gets spoken, the entire crowd reacts like someone just yelled free spirit stones. People start whispering, gasping, turning their heads, because everybody in the North Ming Empire knows that name. What? Because the royal family has been offering a reward for this sword for years. 10 million gold. Yet not 1 million, not 2 million, 10 million. That's the kind of money that turns outer disciples into city lords overnight. You could literally retire, build a sect, buy a mountain, and still have change left. And now everyone realizes Qin Chen just pulled a 10 million gold treasure out of a rusty street stall like he was shopping for vegetables. Inside the private room, the young man in silver robes can't even hide his excitement anymore. This guy is Ming Yu, the second prince of the empire. Not the favorite son, not the strongest, not the one with the best background. His mother from a low-status family, his position in the palace always shaky, which means he needs achievements. Big ones? The kind that makes the emperor smile. And finding the King Yu sword, that's the kind of achievement that can change destiny. Because the emperor has been searching for this sword for years. It's part of a pair once used by an ancient ruler. The other sword already in the royal palace, waiting for its partner. And now thanks to Qin Chen, the second prince just hit the jackpot. Back in the hall, Wang Zhenyu looks like his soul left his body. His face white, eyes shaking, brain completely offline. He can't understand how Qin Chen, who looks like some random kid at the Lin High level, could see through something even experts missed. Meanwhile, Qin Chen doesn't care about any of that. He just turns around and calmly reminds Wang Zhenyu about the bet. 1 million gold. Health! Wang Zhenyu wants to cry but can't. Even for a big family, pulling out that much gold instantly hurts. So he says he needs a few days. Qin Chen shrugs and says fine, open an account at the Sacred Pill Pavilion and deposit it there. Bro treating 1 million gold like it's pocket change from selling herbs. Just when he's about to leave, a voice calls out. Everyone moves aside, and the young man from the private room walks down. The second prince himself. The whole hall instantly respectful. Even Shang Xinyu and Wang Zhenyu bow without thinking. Royal family presence hits different. That's not just power, that's authority plus plot armor. Qin Chen turns around, looks at him once, and just says you need something. No bow, no respect, no fear, just straight eye contact. You could hear everyone's heartbeat at that moment, because talking like that to a prince in this world usually means you don't plan to live long. But Ming Yu doesn't get angry. He smiles, very calm, very polite, thanks Qin Chen for helping the royal family recover the sword, and says he bought it for 2 million gold but actually got a huge advantage. Then he invites Qin Chen for tea. Now, this is big. Getting invited by a prince in public like this is basically a fast track to power. Half the young masters in the hall would sell their spirit pets for that chance. Even Wang Zhenyu probably thinking if that invitation was for him, he'd already kneel. And Qin Chen says no time. I'm busy. The entire hall freezes. Some people think they heard wrong. Refusing a prince is one thing. Refusing him like you refusing a spam call is another. People looking at Qin Chen like he just pressed self-destruct. But the truth is he really is busy. He still needs to help Shang Xinyu's father, help his awakens family deal with his own brother's situation, and who knows what else. In Qin Chen's eyes, this prince isn't some big figure. He's just a descendant of a descendant of a descendant of someone Qin Chen probably knew in a past life. The guard next to the prince suddenly gets angry and tells Qin Chen he can't refuse like that. And for a second the atmosphere gets heavy. But Ming Yu stops him immediately, saying Qin Chen is a genius and shouldn't be treated rudely. Then he tries again, politely saying the sword is priceless and he just wants to thank him. Qin Chen stops walking, turns around, looks straight at him, and drops one of the coldest lines in the arc. He says, don't play games in front of me. Your guard plays the villain, you play the nice guy, I see through it. I said I don't have time, so I don't have time. And if you keep pushing, the little bit of good impression I have left will disappear. Then he leaves, just like that. No hesitation, no looking back. The whole auction hall dead silent. Nobody moves. Nobody speaks. Because in the entire capital, maybe in the entire empire, there might not be a second person who dares talk to the second prince like that and walk away alive. Yi Ziking watches him leave and immediately follows without a word. At this point, her respect for Qin Chen already max level. The more she sees, the more she realizes one thing. This guy is impossible to measure. Not strong in a normal way. Not smart in a normal way. Not arrogant in a normal way. Just one feeling. Unfathomable. And honestly, that's the scariest kind of main character. Alright, this chapter is basically the aftermath of Qin Chen casually flipping the whole auction hall upside down. And now everybody around him is starting to realize something terrifying. This dude is not just confident. He is so absurdly locked in that normal people can't even measure him anymore. Yi Ziking is the first one really processing it. She keeps thinking back to everything Qin Chen has done so far, and the more she thinks, the worse it gets for her common sense. First, he looked at her and instantly figured out her special body type when even her own father couldn't. Then he guided her to the spirit platform to test it like he was checking the weather. Then there was that heavenly fire crystal, a treasure so valuable people would absolutely start throwing hands over it. And Qin Chen treated it like cheap candy. Not rare treasure, not heaven-defying item. Candy! That is when Yi Ziking fully understands the problem. This guy doesn't act bold because he's pretending. He acts that way because in his mind, everything everyone else worships is just regular stuff. That kind of aura is terrifying. So she makes the smartest decision possible. Stop trying to understand him. Just follow. Meanwhile, little Xiao Fei is out here living her best life. She doesn't care about royal swords, secret treasures, or political tension. She just remembers one thing: Wang Zhenyu got embarrassed in public, and that was hilarious. She tells Qin Chen that seeing Wang Zhenyu look stupid was deeply satisfying, and Qin Chen asks the real question: did that make you happy? She said yes, and Qin Chen basically goes perfect. Then everything was worth it. Bro, that means all that auction drama, the giant bet, the public face slap, the legendary sword reveal, the prince getting involved, all of it was at least partly because Xiao Fei said she didn't like those guys. That is insane. Shang Xinyu hears this and immediately realizes something important. Qin Chen could have opened that rusty sword the second Wang Zhenyu accepted the bet. He could have ended everything right there. But no, he took it to auction. He made it public. He made Wang Zhenyu talk big in front of everyone. Then he let the entire city watch that man get packed up with premium quality embarrassment. Why? Because Xiao Fei didn't like him. At this point, Shang Xinyu finally understands Xiao Fei's rank in Qin Chen's heart is way higher than he originally thought. She is not just some random kid he picked up. She is protected character status. Mess with her vibes and your whole reputation gets sent to the Shadow Realm. After that, Qin Chen gets back to business and asks Yi Ziking whether the medicinal ingredients are ready. She said yes. No hesitation, no extra talk, just ready and waiting. That alone tells you how much faith she has in him now. She's not questioning anything anymore. Qin Chen says they'll handle that later, and first they need to deal with Shang Xinyu's father. So now the squad heads deeper into the Sacred Pill Pavilion, all the way to the 7th floor, the core area, where random people absolutely do not get to wander around. This is the real inner zone. Back in the auction hall though, the second prince is still standing there, and his guard Du Zio is mad. Bro is offended on behalf of the royal family. He thinks Qin Chen is way too arrogant, way too disrespectful, and way too full of himself. But the second prince is actually calmer than expected. He says it doesn't matter. In his eyes, talent is priceless, especially a genius array master like Qin Chen. So instead of crashing out, he tells Du Zio to investigate Qin Chen's background. Smart move, because when someone that young can identify hidden treasures, reveal ancient swords, ignore royal pressure, and move like the plot bends around him, yeah, you investigate first and panic later. At the same time, Wang Zhenyu leaves with a face so dark it probably absorbed all nearby light. He finally realizes Qin Chen absolutely did all that on purpose. Qin Chen did not just beat him, he curated the humiliation. That is a different level of disrespect. Wang Zhenyu is furious and demands his people investigate Qin Chen too, because there is no way he can swallow that loss. Classic arrogant young master behavior. When they lose, it's never because they got outplayed. It's always because something suspicious happened. Now over on the 7th floor, Shang Xinyu brings Qin Chen to meet his father, Shang Dingfeng. The atmosphere changes immediately. Shang Xinyu, who is usually all energy and excitement, becomes way more respectful around his father. Makes sense. No matter how talented he is, he's still the youngest son in a family full of competition, and dad clearly carries real authority. Shang Dingfeng sees Qin Chen and is surprised. Not because Qin Chen lacks confidence, but because the person his son has been hyping up like some once-in-a-lifetime genius is just a teenager. And let's be real, from his perspective, that sounds crazy. His son even says Qin Chen can help improve his alchemy before the competition this afternoon. This afternoon? That means half a day. Bro, even I would raise an eyebrow. And right on cue, another son named Sheng Yunkai starts running his mouth. This man hears the plan and instantly goes full hater mode. He looks at Qin Chen and basically says there is no way this kid can help their father improve his alchemy in half a day. No chance. Zero. Impossible. Honestly, his reaction is understandable. But also, buddy, read the room. Shang Xinyu is standing there with full belief, and Qin Chen has already been performing miracles all over the city. Yet Yunkai still wants to act like the loud skeptic in a reaction video. Shang Dingfeng himself is doubtful too, but he's more controlled about it. Deep down, he doesn't believe Qin Chen's alchemy knowledge can surpass his own. After all, he is a high-level alchemist in the Empire. A teenager teaching him sounds ridiculous. Still, the afternoon match is coming, and when you're desperate, you take the shot. So he asks Qin Chen what he needs to do, and Qin Chen gives the simplest answer imaginable. Just refine the pill you are best at. I only need to watch once. Once. That line lands like thunder. Because for everyone else in the room, that does not sound like guidance. That sounds like a scam, a robbery, or a setup. And Shang Yunhai instantly jumps in again, accusing Qin Chen of trying to steal his father's alchemy techniques or maybe even being a spy sent by their enemy. Bro is reaching so hard he might pull a muscle. This time, Shang Xinyu finally snaps and tells his brother to shut up. No polite wording, no soft tone, just straight frustration. He even says not telling him to stay quiet doesn't mean he has to keep talking nonsense. That hits hard because apparently Shang Xinyu usually shows him respect. But now, because of Qin Chen, he's done pretending. Shang Yunkai is shocked. Then he questions whether Shang Xinyu can really guarantee Qin Chen is not a spy. And Shang Xinyu says yes without hesitation. He says he has personally seen Qin Chen refine pills with pill patterns. Now that is the real bombshell. Because pill patterns are not normal. Those only appear when every step of alchemy is basically perfect, when ingredients are used to their fullest, when the finished pill reaches absurd quality. That kind of thing is legendary status. So, when Shang Xinyu says Qin Chen can do that, Shang Yunkai immediately calls cap. He says no such alchemist exists in the whole empire. And honestly, that is exactly why Qin Chen is such a menace. Every time someone says impossible, this man treats it like a suggestion. And now the stage is set. Skeptical father, jealous brother, loyal apprentice, calm genius. One demonstration away from another massive face slap. You already know what's coming next, and it's about to get disrespectful in the best way possible. So subscribe before Qin Chen watches one alchemy session and starts teaching experts like they're freshmen on their first day. Alright, this chapter right here is pure alchemy showdown energy, but not the kind where people throw explosions everywhere. This one is worse. This is the kind where someone calmly watches you work for 2 hours and then tells you everything you did wrong. And trust me, that hurts way more. We start inside the Sacred Pill Pavilion, 7th floor, the core area where only top-level people can enter. Shang Xinyu brings Qin Chen to meet his father, Shang Dingfeng, the pavilion master himself, a 4th-grade alchemist, basically one of the top pill refiners in the entire empire. And right away, the tension is there, because Shang Dingfeng looks at Qin Chen and sees a teenager. Meanwhile, his son standing there acting like he just brought home the final boss of alchemy. Shang Xinyu keeps insisting Qin Chen can help improve his father's alchemy before the competition this afternoon, and everyone in the room is thinking the same thing. Half a day? Improve a 4th-grade alchemist? Bro, be serious. Then the older brother Shang Yungai starts talking again, and this man is fully committed to the hater lifestyle. He basically says this looks like a scam, or maybe Qin Chen came here to spy, or maybe he just wants to steal their techniques. At this point you can tell he already decided he doesn't like Qin Chen no matter what happens. But Shang Dingfeng stops the argument. Even if he doesn't believe it, the competition is coming, so he says fine, let's try. Worst case, nothing changes. So he takes everyone into the alchemy room, and the moment Qin Chen sees the furnace, he smiles and says nice, 4th-grade spirit furnace. Shang Xinyu proudly explains that his father can refine top-level 4th-grade pills, and this furnace is called the Dear Origin Cauldron. Very high quality, very efficient, very expensive, basically alchemist premium equipment. Qin Chen just nods and says alright, start. No ceremony, no long explanation, just start. Shang Dingfeng says the pill he knows best is the Blood Lotus pill, a 4th-grade pill used to heal damage to the spirit core and spirit wheel. something very important for high-level cultivators. This is not beginner stuff. This is the kind of pill core fighters rely on after life and death battles. Ingredients prepared, fire ready, furnace heated, and the refining begins. And to be fair, Shang Dingfeng is good. His movements steady, his control precise, every step clean. Even Shang Yun Kai and Shang Xinyu watching carefully, trying to learn something. Observing a high-level alchemist refine a pill is rare opportunity. Meanwhile, Qin Chen sitting to the side like he's watching a cooking show he already saw 100 times. Half, eyes closed, relaxed, almost bored. Shang Yun Kai sees that and starts mocking, saying Qin Chen must be shocked by how advanced the technique is. But Shang Xinyu knows better. When Qin Chen looks relaxed like that, it doesn't mean he's impressed. It means he's not interested. Time passes, the refining continues, the smell of the pill spreads through the room, and finally the furnace opens. One blood lotus pill rolls out, red, smooth, shiny, perfect shape. Shang Yun Kai immediately starts praising his father, saying the refinement is flawless. Better than usual, amazing control, perfect result. Shang Dingfeng himself looks satisfied too. He knows this batch was clean, no mistakes, everything stable. In his mind, this is a good performance. Then everyone turns to Qin Chen, and Shang Yun Kai asks with that sarcastic tone, "So what does Master Qin think?" And Qin Chen stretches, stands up, looks at the pill, and says it's lunchtime. Let's eat first. The entire room freezes. Bro refined a 4th grade pill in front of you and your first reaction is you're hungry? Shang Yun Kai explodes immediately, saying they called him here to give advice, not to act stupid, asking if he couldn't see any problems or if the alchemy was just too perfect for him to understand. Qin Chen looks surprised and says no, that's not what I meant. There are actually a lot of problems. I just thought if I start listing them now, everyone will starve before I finish, so we should eat first. That line hits like lightning. Even Shang Dingfeng stunned. In the entire empire, people either respect his alchemy or stay quiet. Nobody says there are a lot of problems. Plural. Mede, even Izaiking standing there shocked, because she knows Shang Dingfeng is top level in this country. If his alchemy has many problems, then what level is Qin Chen seeing from? Only Xiao Fei doesn't care. She just agrees eating first sounds like a good idea. Shang Yun Kai gets even angrier and calls Qin Chen a liar, saying he clearly didn't see anything and is just talking nonsense. This time Shang Dingfeng himself speaks, telling Qin Chen if he really thinks there are problems, then say them. His tone calm, but you can tell his pride got touched. So Qin Chen sits back down and says, alright, listen carefully. First problem, ingredient processing. He explains that the main medicine blood lotus keeps most of its effect in the leaves, but Shang Dingfeng removed too much fiber, wasting potential. Then he talks about the auxiliary herb that looks like a nose, saying even the tiny hairs matter because they filter impurities, and removing them weakens the pill. Everyone already blinking, because that level of detail is not normal criticism. That's surgical analysis. Then Qin Chen goes to the second problem, fire control. He says the flame level was too strong for this pill, and during the condensation stage the fire should not stay constant, only added in intervals, because the blood lotus already has strong yang energy that helps the pill form itself. Then third problem, then fourth, then fifth. He keeps going like he reading from a list nobody else can see, and the more he talks, the more Shang Dingfeng's face changes. First annoyed, then confused, then shocked, then completely silent, because every single point makes sense. And that's the moment everyone realizes something terrifying. Qin Chen didn't watch the refining to learn. He watched it to grade it. And the score is not looking good. Alright, this chapter is one of those beautiful cultivation moments where a loud hater is already halfway through celebrating, only for reality to come in with a folding chair and ruin his whole afternoon. So after Qin Chen spends what feels like forever calmly breaking down every flaw in Shang Dingfeng's alchemy, the whole room is basically frozen. And not because they all understand everything he said. Now half the room is standing there like their brains just got hit with the software update they did not ask for. Even Shang Dingfeng, a top alchemist and the boss of the Sacred Pill Pavilion, is struggling to process all of it. Some of Qin Chen's points sound deep, some sound weird, some sound straight up impossible, but the more he thinks about them, the more terrifying it gets. Because they make sense. Not all at once. Not in some easy spoon-fed way, but enough to make him realize this kid is not bluffing. This is not random confidence. This is somebody speaking from a place so high up that even hearing it feels like homework. By the time Qin Chen finally finishes, a whole chunk of time has passed, and Lil Xiao Fei gives the most important commentary in the entire chapter. She says she is hungry. Honestly valid. Qin Chen immediately switches from master mode to big brother mode, smiles, pinches her little nose, and says, "Look at all of you, I told you already, talking too much would delay lunch." Then he says he'll take Zyro Fei to eat. And right there, Shang Yunkai snaps back to life. This man has been waiting the whole time for his chance to hate again. He jumps in it and says, "Hold on, who knows if anything Qin Chen said was even correct." He starts mocking all the terms Qin Chen used, saying stuff like spirit nurturing through pill fire, guiding spiritual energy, weird details that sound too fancy to be real. In his head, Qin Chen is just making up mysterious nonsense and hoping nobody checks the mat. Classic weak aura move. He really thought his father was about to get angry and tear Qin Chen apart. But then Shang Dingfeng speaks, and the whole vibe changes instantly. Because instead of scolding Qin Chen, he stops everyone. Now Shang Yun is still smiling inside for like half a second, thinking, yup, here it comes, father's about to cook this fraud. But then Shang Dingfeng turns towards Shang Xinyu and starts yelling at him for just standing there. He says, "Didn't you hear Qin Chen is hungry? Go tell the chefs at the St. Sparrow restaurant to prepare a full feast and treat Qin Chen properly." Bro Shang Yunkai's smile probably shattered on the spot. That is not a punishment. That is premium guest treatment. And now everybody in the room realizes the truth. Shang Dingfeng may not have understood every single word Qin Chen said, but the part he did understand already hit him like enlightenment from heaven. The missing flaws Qin Chen pointed out were real, and not just real fatal. So now the whole energy flips. The same pavilion master who was doubtful before walks up to Qin Chen with full respect, praising him as a peerless young genius with astonishing alchemy knowledge. Then he politely asks if Qin Chen can explain some parts in more detail. That's when both Shang brothers get stunned for real. Shang Xinyu is stunned because he believed Qin Chen would win, but even he did not expect his father to go full respectful disciple mode this fast. And Shang Yunkai, yeah, bro is spiritually buffering. Because once your own father starts talking to the guy you mock like a respected master, your whole argument falls apart in real time. Shang Xinyu runs out immediately to arrange the meal, and while he's going, he's basically freaking out internally. He knows he made the right move bringing Qin Chen here. He traded away those precious favors, but now it's obvious the gamble paid off big time. In his mind, there's only one phrase left to describe Qin Chen: unfathomable, which honestly is the perfect word for this man. Every time you think you understand his level, he opens another hidden menu. Back in the alchemy room, Shang Dingfeng is glowing, and not in a metaphorical way only. This man looks like he just found the gate to a higher realm. For an alchemist, there is nothing more precious than improvement, and Qin Chen's words just open a new road in front of him. A road that might lead to becoming an even higher ranked alchemist. So he thanks Qin Chen sincerely and asks him again to explain the confusing parts. Qin Chen, being Qin Chen, does not say, "Wow, you're such a humble student," or anything like that. He just says your brain isn't totally hopeless, you understood a decent amount. That line is disrespectful and encouraging at the same time. Honestly, that is his brand now. Then he says if that's the case, he'll just demonstrate it once. And that right there is where the chapter goes from explanation to flex. Now Qin Chen isn't about to refine a whole top-level spirit pill himself, because his current cultivation still limits him. He's not acting fake humble either, it's just the actual truth. But the foundational stuff, ingredient preparation, purification, fire control, timing, heat, rhythm, all of that, he can absolutely show them. And apparently talking that long got him in the mood, because bro suddenly wants to cook. So Qin Chen raises his hand and pill fire appears instantly in his palm. The moment Shang Xinyu comes back and sees it, he basically locks up. Because the last time he saw Qin Chen's pill fire, it was much weaker. Back then it needed help to improve. But now it has already advanced by a whole level, in less than 2 months. That is ridiculous. That is not talent anymore. That is cheat code behavior. Everybody else is shocked too, but Shang Xinyu feels it the hardest because he saw the before and after. He knows this growth is not normal at all. Then Qin Chen picks up a blood lotus and starts explaining. He says the fibers inside need to be removed carefully so the medicinal effect stays intact. Sounds simple enough until he actually does it. He flicks his fingers, and the pill fire spreads apart into fine strands, thin as silk, weaving into the blood lotus along its internal lines like tiny glowing threads. And with one sharp motion, he pulls them all back out. Every single internal fiber removed cleanly. No damage, no waste, no mess. Just clean extraction like a magician doing surgery. Everybody watching is stunned, because Shang Dingfeng had to do that process slowly and carefully from the outside, layer by layer, like peeling something delicate. Qin Chen just reached straight into the core and removed exactly what needed removing in one smooth move. That kind of control is insane, and Shang Dingfeng understands way more than the others do. He knows why this is terrifying. It is not just about skill. To do this, Qin Chen would need unbelievably precise fire control and a near-perfect understanding of the herb's structure. That kind of technique is something he once saw from an extremely high-level alchemist, and now a teenage boy is doing it casually in front of him. That is the part that breaks people. Not just that Qin Chen is right, not just that Qin Chen is skilled, but that every move he makes looks smoother than the official standard, maybe even better than what's written in the manuals. And once he gets started, he just keeps going. One ingredient after another, every motion clean, every adjustment natural, every step so smooth it looks like water flowing. No hesitation, no wasted movement, no dramatic struggle, just pure control. At this point, Shang Dingfeng is probably having an internal crisis, because the more he watches, the more he has to accept that this is not some talented junior giving clever advice. This is a monster wearing teenager skin, and the craziest part? Qin Chen is not even trying to show off. He's just demonstrating the basics. Basics? That word alone is disrespectful enough to send half the empire into therapy. This chapter basically ends with everybody standing there, watching Qin Chen handle medicinal ingredients like he was born with alchemy in his bloodline, and realizing they may have just invited an absolute demon into the pavilion. And honestly, they better keep the hospitality extra nice from here on out. Alright, this chapter starts nice and peaceful, like the calm after a boss fight, and honestly everybody in the room is still mentally recovering from watching Qin Chen treat high-level alchemy like it's basic cooking tutorial content. After finishing that clean demonstration, Qin Chen finally relaxes, looks at the processed herbs in front of him, and you can tell he's actually satisfied. Not proud in an arrogant way, more like an artist looking at a finished painting and going, yeah, that looks right. He explains that ingredient processing is basically done like that, but fire control and pill fusion are harder to explain in a few sentences. And right on cue, Xiao Fei pulls the emergency brake on the entire cultivation lecture by saying she's hungry again. Honestly, the most powerful character in the arc. Qin Chen immediately stops everything, pats her head, and says, alright, no more talking, we eat. And Shang Dingfeng, who just got his entire alchemy worldview rewritten, agrees faster than anyone. He instantly tells them the feast at the Saint Sparrow restaurant should already be ready. Bro didn't even hesitate. You know the respect level went up when the pavilion master personally rushing lunch plans. They start walking out together, and on the way Shang Dingfeng keeps trying to talk more about alchemy like a student chasing the teacher after class. He even says they can discuss on the road. On the road! The restaurant is literally across the street. Man really trying to squeeze extra knowledge out of every step. Shang Xinyu watching this and smiling like he just invested in the right stock. He knows bringing Qin Chen here saved the family. Whatever danger was coming from the upcoming competition, it's basically gone now. He even asks his brother Shang Yunkai if he wants to come eat too, saying the crisis is probably over. Yunkai still acting salty, saying he's not interested, but you can tell his pride is the only thing talking now. Inside, he already knows Qin Chen wasn't bluffing. Back on the street, the group leaves the Sacred Pill Pavilion and heads toward the restaurant. And right when things finally look peaceful, trouble spawns. On the main road, a group of riders shows up, horses moving fast, armor shining, full rich young master patrol energy. And lighting them, the sixth prince. Ow! Broken arm guy is back. His arm has been fixed, but his pride definitely hasn't healed. He's riding around the city looking for Qin Chen like he is on a revenge side quest. He's talking with people from the Zhu family, complaining about how he got humiliated before, how his arm was broken in public, how that kid dared to disrespect a prince. You can hear the anger in every word. Bro replayed that moment in his head at least 100 times. He even blames the Zhu family for not handling things properly, saying their young master got killed too easily and now the situation looks bad. Then suddenly he freezes, because right in front of him, walking down the street like nothing happened, is Qin Chen. The moment he recognizes him, the prince almost jumps off the horse. He starts shouting his name like he just spotted the final boss. He orders his people to call Zhu's second master immediately, saying today they must kill this kid no matter what. You can feel how desperate he is. This is not just anger anymore, this is personal trauma. Meanwhile, Qin Chen and the others also notice the riders coming. Shang Dingfeng sees the prince and greets him politely, planning to just walk past, because nobody wants random trouble with royalty in the middle of the street. But the prince stops them. He points straight at Qin Chen and says this person cannot leave. He says this is the one who broke his arm yesterday, and today he will teach him a lesson no matter what. He even tells Shang Dingfeng to step aside. Now this is the moment where most people would panic. But Qin Chen just steps forward calmly and says it has nothing to do with the pavilion master. He can handle it himself. That line alone makes the prince nervous. You can literally see him take a step back without meaning to. Because last time he also thought he could handle it. And we all know how that ended. The guard moved forward, trying to look brave, but nobody really wants to be the first one to get hit. Qin Chen looks at the prince and says, "You wanted to teach me a lesson, right?" "What?" The prince starts talking big again, saying this is the capital. He is a royal prince. Qin Chen won't escape today. And Qin Chen just says, "So what?" That is the kind of reply that deletes authority instantly. The prince tries to keep his momentum, but then he notices Yiziking standing next to Qin Chen, ready to fight, and his confidence drops again. He knows her strength, knows her awakened body, knows his guards can't beat her easily. So now he switches strategy and says, "Fine, someone stronger is coming," and when that person arrives, Qin Chen is finished. Qin Chen doesn't even blink. He just says nobody in this empire can teach him anything. That line hits hard. Too hard. Because right after he says it, a cold voice comes from the road behind them, asking if that means even he cannot. Everyone turns. A group of riders rushes in, stopping with heavy killing intent. Leading them is an older man with messy hair, sharp eyes, and the kind of aura that makes the air feel heavier. Zhu Second Master, the hot-tempered elder of the Zhu family, famous for never letting grudges grow. The moment the sixth prince sees him, he almost looks happier than when his arm got fixed. He immediately points at Qin Chen and says this is the one who told Yiziking to kill his nephew. The old man steps forward, eyes full of killing intent, and says if that's true, then today Qin Chen will pay with his life. The street goes silent. People stop walking. Even the guards tense up. Because this is not a spoiled young master anymore. This is a real expert, a spirit platform level fighter, someone who can actually kill. But Qin Chen just looks at him with that same calm expression and says even if you are at that level, it still doesn't matter. Nobody in this empire can teach me anything. And the moment those words fall, the old man moves, killing intent exploding as he rushes straight toward Qin Chen. And just like that, lunch plans are cancelled. Peace is gone, and we are about to see whether the city is ready for another public face slap. Alright, this chapter starts exactly where the street confrontation left off, and honestly at this point the entire capital should already know one rule. If Qin Chen says he can handle it, you probably shouldn't test him. So when Zhu's second master rushes forward full killing intent, everybody around thinks the fight is about to explode. This is not some spoiled young master anymore. This is a real expert, someone with enough strength to actually kill people in broad daylight. But before Qin Chen even moves, boom, a figure steps in front of him and throws a punch. Shen Benfang. Yeah, the pavilion master himself. The two attacks collide, and the result is instant. Zhu's second master gets blasted backward, blood coming out, face pale, body flying like he just got hit by a truck made of spiritual energy. No warm-up, no second round, just one hit, and Sheng Dinfeng stands there like nothing happened. That's when everyone remembers something important. He is not just an alchemist. He is also a high-level cultivator. A 4th grade pill master who can reach that position is not weak, and his cultivation is already at the spirit soul level. Against him, Zhu's second master is simply outclassed. Zhu's second master furious, asking what this means, why Sheng Dinfeng interfering? And Sheng Dinfeng doesn't even hide it. He says Qin Chen is an honored guest of the Sacred Pill Pavilion, and anyone who touches him is picking a fight with the pavilion. That line hits harder than the punch. Because in this empire, the Sacred Pill Pavilion controls the flow of medicine, metals, materials, basically half the economy. Offend them, and your whole clan suddenly can't buy anything important anymore. Zhu's second master freezes. He came here ready to kill. He did not come ready to start a trade war. He realizes real quick that if this escalates, his own family might throw him away just to keep the pavilion happy. And now he's stuck, staring at Qin Chen, knowing his nephew died, knowing his pride is burning, but also knowing he can't move. So after a long pause, he finally says fine, but Qin Chen better stay lucky forever. Qin Chen just smiles. What? He looks like he's the one deciding who gets lucky. Zhu's second master leaves, angry but helpless, and the 6th prince standing there looks like his brain stopped working. Last time Yiziking protected Qin Chen, now even the pavilion master personally stepping in. He starts wondering what kind of background this guy actually has. Sheng Dinfeng turns to Qin Chen and immediately switches tone, smiling like a friendly shop owner, saying if Qin Chen ever has trouble again, just come to the pavilion. Nobody in the capital will dare bully him. You can feel the difference. Earlier he was respectful. Now he's protective, because the afternoon competition depends entirely on Qin Chen's guidance. To him, Qin Chen is not just a guest anymore. He's a walking treasure. Meanwhile, Xiao Fei is dying of hunger again, and that instantly becomes the top priority. Qin Chen laughs, takes her hand, and says, "All right, we eat." And just when everyone thinks the scene is over, Qin Chen stops walking, turns his head, looks at the sixth prince, and says one sentence. "Yi Ziking, throw him onto the roof of the sacred pill pavilion and hang him there." No explanation, no warning, just the order. Everybody freezes. The prince barely has time to shout that he's royalty before Yi Ziking moves. One step forward, grab, lift, and the next second the prince is screaming in the air like a broken kite. Then boom! He's hanging from the roof, in public, in the capital, in front of everyone. The whole street goes silent. People don't even know how to react anymore. Breaking a prince's arm was already insane. Hanging a prince on the roof of the sacred pill pavilion? That's not arrogance anymore. That's main character with zero fear of consequences. Even Shang Dingfeng standing there stunned. He heard the story before and didn't fully believe it, but now he sees it with his own eyes. Qin Chen really does whatever he wants. And the scary part, nothing happens to him. After that, everyone goes to the restaurant and the feast is already prepared. Xiao Fei starts eating immediately like she just survived a war, while Shang Dingfeng sits next to Qin Chen like a student waiting for lecture notes. He can't hold it anymore and starts asking questions about alchemy non-stop. Qin Chen answers one by one, calm, clear, like explaining basic math. Shang Xinyu listening from the side feels the weirdest thing. Half the stuff he doesn't understand, but the part he does understand sounds completely correct. It feels like the person sitting there is not a teenager, but some ancient master who has studied pill refining for thousands of years. After a long discussion, Qin Chen finally stops and reminds him that this already passed the limit of the 3 questions he promised. Shang Xinyu instantly embarrassed, but also relieved, because even with that limit, his father already gained more than expected. Then Qin Chen casually asks if the opponent for the afternoon competition will arrive soon and tells Shang Dingfeng to just follow his instructions, and winning the alchemy match will not be a problem. For the theory test later, they can just bring the questions to him. Simple, like passing an exam is nothing. Shang Dingfeng nodding like he just found a cheat sheet for life. Then Qin Chen looks at Xiao Fei and asks if she finished eating, because they still have real business to do. Real business. That's when Shang Dingfeng remembers Qin Chen's brother is still injured, and suddenly his attitude becomes even more serious. He starts yelling at Shang Xinyu to hurry up and prepare everything, saying the life of Qin Chen's brother is the most important thing right now. Shang Xinyu standing there confused, because earlier his father was not this enthusiastic. Now he acting like Qin Chen is the real boss. Qin Chen just smiles, takes Xiao Fei, and leaves. And while he's calmly walking away with people treating him like VIP number 1 somewhere else in the city, the sixth prince is smashing things in rage, face twisted, pride shattered, completely unable to accept what just happened. Because getting beaten once is bad, getting humiliated twice is worse, but getting hung on a roof in your own capital, yet that kind of damage doesn't heal with pills. Alright, this chapter splits into 2 sides at the same time, and both sides are cooking something big. On one side, Qin Chen is preparing to fix something everyone else thinks is impossible. On the other side, the sixth prince is preparing revenge like a man who just got embarrassed in front of the whole internet. We start with the prince completely losing his mind. First his arm got broken, then he got hung on the roof of the sacred pill pavilion. Not just beaten, not just insulted, but in public. He keeps yelling about how he's a royal prince, how his face has nowhere left to go, how Yi Ziking keeps protecting Qin Chen, how even Shang Dingfeng dared to stand against Zhu's second master just to protect that kid. At this point he's not even angry anymore, he's confused. He keeps asking the same question. What kind of ability does Qin Chen actually have? That's when Zhu Sheng steps in with a very evil idea. He reminds the prince that the Imperial Guard commander Kai Wai owes him favors, and Kai Wai's son Kai Donaming is already at 4th level Spirit C. Strong enough, loyal enough, and most importantly, willing to act. So the plan is simple. Ambush, no fair fight, no warning. Just bring soldiers and kill Qin Chen quietly. The prince immediately agrees like he just found a therapy method. You can tell this is not about justice anymore. This is about pride damage. Meanwhile, on the other side, Qin Chen doesn't even know or care someone is plotting his death. He's already back at the Sacred Pill Pavilion with Shang Dingfeng and Shang Xinyu, thinking about his brother's injury. And this is where the story shifts from revenge to real cultivation logic. His brother's spirit C was destroyed, which for normal people means finished. No cultivation, no future, no hope. But Qin Chen doesn't see it that way. He starts thinking about pill formulas. High-level pills could fix it easily, but nobody in this empire can refine those, and his current cultivation is too low to do it himself. So he has to find another way, using lower-grade pills to rebuild the Spirit Sea step by step. After thinking for a while, he picks 3 pills. Break Spirit Pill, Rebuild Spirit Pill, Restore Spirit Pill. First destroy completely, then rebuild, then strengthen. It sounds crazy, but for Qin Chen this is just another method. The ingredients are not rare. The real value is the formula, and unfortunately for the world, Qin Chen is basically a walking encyclopedia of pill formulas. So he starts selecting herbs inside the pavilion like he's shopping with a checklist. Sheng Xinyu following behind him like an assistant who forgot he used to be arrogant. At this point he doesn't even notice it himself. The moment Qin Chen starts talking about alchemy, he automatically switches to disciple mode. He's excited too, because last time he saw Qin Chen refine pills with patterns, and that kind of thing is legendary level. When Qin Chen says the ingredients are enough and asks for an alchemy room, Sheng Xinyu runs to arrange it immediately. While Qin Chen starts refining inside outside, the real competition begins. Back in the main hall, Sheng Dingfeng is pacing back and forth waiting for his rival to arrive. You can tell he's nervous, but also different than before. After being guided by Qin Chen, he feels like his mind opened. Not confident, but clearer. Then the door opens, and the rival walks in. He, same level alchemist, same rank, but with a very dark aura. The kind of guy who smiles while planning how to ruin your career. Sheng Dingfeng greets him politely, but the moment he sees the old man behind him, his expression changes. Because that old man is Jiang Rong, a real master, 7th grade alchemist. Not local level, not empire level, main pavilion level. Someone even Sheng Dingfeng once learned from. And now he's the judge. That alone makes the pressure jump 10 times. Kyushi immediately starts talking trash in a polite way, saying they should be more formal this time, because this competition might decide who keeps the position of pavilion master. Sheng Dingfeng answers calmly, but you can feel the tension. This is not just about pride. This is about status, authority, and control over the entire sacred pill pavilion in the empire. John Rom laughs watching them, saying they always liked to compete since they were young, but then he warned Sheng Dingfeng quietly. Kyushi prepared a lot this time. Be careful. That one sentence hits harder than any insult. Because if the master like him says that, it means the danger is real. They move to the alchemy room prepared for the competition. All materials ready, everything arranged perfectly. John Rong sits in the main seat, calm like a referee who has seen thousands of matches. A screen divides the room into 2 sides, 2 furnaces, 2 alchemists, 1 position at stake. Kyushi immediately starts preparing his ingredients, and you can see the confidence on his face. In his mind, this fight is already decided. He believes his pill skill is stronger, and for the theory questions later, he already prepared tricks to make sure Sheng Dingfeng cannot answer. He wants a complete victory, not just win. Take the pavilion master seat. And while this high-level competition is about to start inside another room, Qin Chen is calmly refining pills to rebuild his brother's Spirit Sea, completely unaware that half the capital is about to explode because of him. That's the scary part. Everyone else fighting for power. He's just solving problems. And usually, the one who looks the least worried is the one about to change everything.